Drew McIntyre reveals his first thoughts after finding out he tested positive for COVID-19. Update on Jason Jordan's health and WWE status, and The Undertaker reveals why he is not enjoying the WWE product. Hello everyone, Jose G here bringing you today's top stories in today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. Drew McIntyre reveals his first thoughts after finding out he tested positive for COVID-19. Drew McIntyre has revealed his first thoughts on testing positive for COVID-19. The WWE champion recently tested positive for the virus and has been away from in-ring action as he was in quarantine. Drew McIntyre last competed on Raw Legends Night, where he successfully defended his WWE Championship against Keith Lee before being confronted by Goldberg. The following week on Raw, the WWE champion was scheduled to face Randy Orton in a non-title bout, but the match was scrapped after he was revealed that McIntyre tested positive for the virus. During a recent interaction on the Arash Markazi show, the WWE champion opened up on contacting the virus, and he revealed that he was happy that they managed to catch it, saying, quote, my first thoughts were honestly, this is why we do the test. Throughout the whole pandemic, from the beginning, we've never stopped running right up until now. WWE has been testing everybody before you were even allowed to enter the building. And I'm so glad that they caught it, and I never knew I had it. I've been following the strict safety guidelines. The general was wearing a mask and social distancing, but I've taken it another level where my wife and I don't leave the house essentially, aside to go to work, and I still managed to catch it, end quote. During his appearance on Raw last week via satellite, Drew McIntyre stated that he didn't show any symptoms of the virus, but he told everyone that COVID-19 should not be taken lightly. Drew McIntyre also had a special message to share with the world, and the WWE champion stated that he was glad he didn't infect any other superstars, and he also added that he's very fortunate to be asymptomatic. Update on Jason Jordan's health and WWE status. Chad Gable has confirmed that his former American Alpha tag team partner Jason Jordan is hoping to make an in-ring return. Jason Jordan underwent successful neck surgery in February 2018. While he has not competed in a match since the surgery, the three-time tag team champion has worked behind the scenes as a WWE producer. With uncertainty surrounding Jason Jordan's future, Gable revealed on The Bump that his real-life friend is planning to make a comeback. He also said that he is open to reforming American Alpha when his former partner returns, saying, quote, speaking from a personal standpoint, he became one of my best friends throughout the process and still is. It's unfortunate what happened to him with his injury, but you never say never. He's working on it, he's trying to get back, and who knows, a reunion is always something I would never be against. Jason Jordan's last WWE match took place in January 2018 at the Royal Rumble. He lost the Raw Tag Team Championships that night with Seth Rollins against Cesaro and Sheamus. That match was essentially a handicap match after Jason Jordan suffered a storyline head injury in the early stages. The former American Alpha member did not even tag in one time during the match. Timothy Thatcher wins second ever Fight Pit match on NXT with an innovative move. The much anticipated Fight Pit match between Timothy Thatcher and Tommaso Ciampa took place on last night's episode of NXT. The match was initially set to take place at NXT New Year's Eve, but got nixed after Thatcher was not medically cleared to compete. Having won the first ever Fight Pit match against current Raw superstar Riddle after betraying him, Thatcher looked determined to keep the streak going against the veteran Ciampa. Thatcher's innovative move helped him get the win over the Blackheart. Towards the end of the match, Thatcher put on a modified stretch muffler submission on Tommaso Ciampa's surgically repaired knee. Unable to withstand the pain, the former NXT champion had no other option than to tap out. After the match, both men knelt in the middle of the ring opposite to each other and had a stare down. Whether it was a sign of mutual respect or hatred could not be determined, as none of them exchanged any words. The Undertaker reveals why he isn't enjoying WWE's product. The Undertaker was brutally honest while talking about WWE's current product on the latest edition of the Joe Rogan podcast. While chatting with Rogan, the dead man opened up on what the company churns out and how he is struggling to enjoy it as a fan. He said that there has been a lot of changes to the product and said it's a little bit soft, saying, quote, I'll probably piss a lot of people off, but they need to hear it. There's too much pretty and not enough substance, end quote. The Undertaker had been a mainstay in WWE for over 3 decades before finally retiring at Survivor Series last year. Last year's pay-per-view was also the 30th anniversary of his WWE debut. Io Shirai interferes in the first match of the WWE Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The first ever WWE Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic got off to an excellent start with an exhilarating match between Kacy Catanzaro and Kayden Carter of Team Ninja and Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez on last night's episode of NXT. NXT Women's Champion Shirai intervened in the match to attack Martinez, which helped Team Ninja pull off an upset victory over the much intimidating team. Not forgetting how Martinez returned a few weeks ago on the Black and Gold brand and put her through the announce table. The Genius of the Sky made it clear that she is ready for the veteran. Perhaps this will all boil down to a match at the upcoming NXT TakeOver event. As a result, a distracted Storm fell prey to Team Ninja as Catanzaro took to the air and landed a beautiful 720 senton on the former NXT UK Women's Champion. She followed it up with a cover for a successful 3 count. After upsetting one of the favorites in the first round of the tournament, Kacy Catanzaro and Kayden Carter now advance to the next round. Although it has not been made official by WWE, the winners of the first ever Women's Dusty Cup might earn themselves a shot at the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Thanks for watching today's SK Wrestling News Roundup. For more news stories, follow us on all social media. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Download the Sportskeeda app for the most up-to-date stories in the world of wrestling.